Paradox Live includes themes of trauma, child abuse and neglect, violence, suicide, death, human experimentation, and gang activity. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey there, heads! This will be the first of 4 videos in which I'll be talking about the first 4 units in the Paradox Live Media Project. I realized after uploading my first video that I hadn't explicitly stated that there are more than 4 groups now, because this project is currently in its second story arc. That said, the scripts for these videos will be specifically written to avoid spoilers for the story up until now. When I finish with these groups, I'll probably take some time to cover the overview of the plot from the stage battle drama, or drama tracks. For now, I want to focus on bringing you up to speed on the members and origin of the 4 original units, as well as their motivations for taking part in the Paradox Live competition. BAE, named for the backronym Before Anyone Else, is a unit made up of 3 international university students. Reflective of this, their lyrics are written in a combination of Japanese, English, and Korean. The leader of this group is 21-year-old Alan Sugasano, also known as Suzaku, voiced by Gakuto Kajiwara. Keeping with BAE's international theme, he is a quarter Russian and was raised by a pianist father and opera singer mother who ensured that he was classically trained as a violinist. He discovered hip-hop through the group Budokan, and it lit a nearly obsessive passion for the genre within him. He began collecting records and composing his own tracks, consumed entirely by the message and power of hip-hop. Ultimately, his parents would express their disapproval for this lowbrow and trashy music by burning everything having to do with this new interest. Following this incident, Alan would run away from home and end up living with his high school friend Hajun. 21-year-old Hajun Yeon, aka Yonpachi, is voiced by Ayumu Murase. Hajun is the son of a Korean chaebol family, or a politically and economically powerful family that controls a large corporate entity. Due to his parents' struggles to conceive, he was either adopted or conceived through a surrogate. The source material is a little unclear. He was raised with the pressure of being the family's heir, but when he was just 13 years old, his parents were able to produce their own full-blooded offspring. Upon the birth of his younger brother, Hajun was sent to Japan to study and to build relations to expand the reach of the Yeon family conglomerate. His upbringing has taught him to mask his true intentions behind a cool but pleasant demeanor, and so he is known as the Smiling Noble, despite his true cynical and sadistic personality. The only people who have glimpsed the person behind the mask are Alan and Anne. 20-year-old Anne, aka Anne Z, is a half-British, half-Japanese person voiced by Kuroneko, an Utaite vocalist who got her start on Nico Nico Doga. Anne is referred to as someone who is unrestrained by gender in a recent update to their profile, which originally applied the label of Otoko no Ko, or male daughter. Otoko no Ko is a Japanese gender identity used by people who are biologically male and present femininely but do not identify as women. So, Anne does occasionally refer to themselves as a guy, and is generally referred to with male pronouns in the Japanese source material. Meanwhile, the English translation available on the official website uses they-them pronouns to demonstrate Anne's desire to remain unlabeled and undefined. Anne was raised by their overbearing and emotionally abusive mother, who wanted her child to be a perfect little prince for her. Anne's mother would keep their hair cut short and force them to dress in a masculine style that felt restrictive and suffocating to them. Anne began experimenting with feminine clothing, hair extensions, and makeup at school, where they were free from their mother's supervision. This is where they would meet Alan and Hajun, who were battle rapping in an empty classroom. The 3 bonded over their shared struggles with parental expectations, and Anne became the stylist for and first supporter of Alan and Hajun's duo unit called Furthermore. Later, Anne would join as a member of the group, and the 3 would rebrand as BAE. After Anne graduated from high school, they moved in with Alan and Hajun and began attending the same university. Now, in addition to being a student, Anne works as a hostess at a cabaret club and also heads a fashion brand called Swank, which has seasonal releases of clothing and accessories that can actually be purchased in the real world. The members of BAE all live together in a luxury apartment paid for by Hajun. Hajun also tends to do the cooking, as he has incredibly high standards for his food and adheres to a clean eating sort of lifestyle to maintain his figure for his side hustle as a model. Anne, on the other hand, is horrible at cooking, and Alan tends to be preoccupied by his music. In fact, Alan's hyperfixation on hip-hop is so great that he often forgets his homework assignments or neglects other daily functions in favor of listening to and composing songs. While his faith in BAE and their music is unshakable, he is also quick to praise other groups' trackmakers and is eager to talk about hip-hop with anyone who will listen. BAE's motivation for entering the Paradox Live competition is largely led by their ambition to rise to the top of the Phantom Live scene. Despite being popular among a younger demographic, Alan and his unit members are frustrated by their limited reach, and they jump at the prospect of being able to take the stage at the legendary club Paradox. Being an ardent Buraikon fanboy, Alan is also determined to face the duo on a stage battle to prove the quality of BAE's music. One of the major through lines of BAE's music is the message of embracing one's true self and living unapologetically. The character arcs are similarly built around the concepts of struggling against rigid parental expectation. Alan's parents reject his passion for hip-hop. Anne's mother rejects their personal gender expression. And Hajun's parents first pressured him, then later rejected him as the heir to their powerful family line. As such, each member would leave that home environment in the pursuit of their own individual purpose and sense of identity. Fundamentally speaking, the members of BAE have relatable traumas, and like many university students, they're entering the world as adults for the first time and learning to love themselves despite the baggage of their earlier lives. Their music is about personal rebellion and valuing yourself in spite of the odds. So I hope you found today's video informative, and I hope you'll join me next time to talk about the cat's Whiskers. In the meantime, listen to some of BAE's songs and let me know in the comments which of them you think goes the hardest. Personally, I can't get over how heavily pride-coded Emblem is. Just look up the translated chorus if you don't believe me. With that being said, I'll catch you later, heads. Stay dope, I guess.